What's up, everybody? Today's video is how a skinny, talentless kid made prime Messi look average. My name is Greg, an American living abroad in Spain, learning the beautiful game of football one question at a time with your help. And today's video is brought to you by Daily Dose of Football, which is everybody's favorite. Everybody loves them. I will include a link in the description so you can go and show them some love as well and do all the YouTube stuff over there and help them out. So now this video here was a recommendation, and it was recommended by, let's see here. It was recommended by Cuddy, Blaze, VH7 OC, bunch of people recommended Thomas Müller. So that's who this is about. It's going to be super interesting. I've seen him on some videos. I mean, I just watched a video about Neuer, and he was like standing right next to Neuer, and I've heard some stories about him. So this is going to be interesting. I just want to kind of see what everything is all about here. So before we get going here, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with his wiki. So this is Mr. Thomas Müller, and he has a lot going on here. So I'll do my best to kind of touch on some of the highlights here if I can. So let's see. He was born in 1989 and is a German professional footballer who plays as an attacking midfielder. Okay, cool. Or a forward for Major League Soccer club Vancouver Whitecaps. Oh, so Vancouver, Washington? Let's see. Vancouver, oh, Canada. Canadian Professional Soccer Club. Okay. So he's over there now. Let's see. When did he go there? Looks like just recently, 2025. So wonder, this is probably, oh, he's at Bayern Munich. Oh, wow. So he was there for almost 20 years. So was it like a sad farewell, I'm assuming? And looks like he's going to extend his career over there in Vancouver. So that's interesting. Let's see here. So following the departures of Bayern mainstays such as that's Spanish, sorry. Arjen Robben, I guess, and Frank Ribery. Müller remained in a new era for the club. Okay, in 2019-2020, he broke the Bundesliga record for assists. Oh, wow. And for assists in a season with 21. A joint record in the top 5 leagues alongside Lionel Messi in La Liga. Wow. So, okay. 21. I know I just watched a video with Di Maria, and I remember he had like 18 or 19 assists, and I was kind of saying, oh man, it doesn't seem like he did a lot, because I think he had 10 goals or something. And everybody was telling me that was just an amazing season. So, and this kind of confirms that. I mean, 21 was a record of the top 5 leagues. So wow, okay, that's good to know. Müller was called up to the German national team in 2010. All right, and at the 2010 FIFA World Cup, he scored 5 goals in 6 appearances as Germany finished in 3rd place. And let me see, his position was attacking midfielder. Okay. I know I say this often, but I'm learning football. I'm playing Football Manager to learn. So now I kind of have an idea what an attacking midfielder is. And I don't know if he was on the left side or the right side. He played it forward also. Okay. All right, let's check here his style of play. Müller is a versatile player in Bayern's youth, or was a versatile player is a versatile player in Bayern's youth system. He primarily played as a midfielder, but since joining the first team, he has played as an attacker. Bayern Munich usually plays a 4-2-3-1. Yes, I love that. That's what we're playing. But I have Borussia Dortmund. So let's see here. Although he lacks physical strength, Müller has been praised for his tactical intelligence. Oh, wow. Okay, and then let's take a look at his personal life here. He was born in Weilheim in Oberbayern. Bavaria. Oh, he was raised in the nearby village of Pal, which became the center of media attention during his 2010 FIFA World Cup campaign. His parents are Claudia. Okay. All right. That's good to know. Style of play, his honors. Let's take a look at that. Bundesliga. Okay. So let's see here. FIFA World Cup, 3rd place. And UEFA European Championship League, 3rd place. And individual. Oh, okay. He won the World Cup Golden Boot in 2010. Best Young Player in 2010 at the World Cup. Oh, wow. FIFA World Cup All-Star Team. FIFA World Cup Silver Boot in 2014. All-Star Team again in 2014. Dream Team in 2014. Man, World Soccer Young Player of the Year in 2010. Okay, so obviously he did a lot. So, okay. Well, that's pretty good there. So this is going to be interesting. I'm definitely excited to take a look at this. So let's go ahead and hop right in. Let's go.
So listen to this. Thomas Müller is not a good dribbler. He isn't fast, neither his heading or finishing are particularly impressive, and he's definitely not strong. But he could not care less about any of that. Because Müller has won more trophies than Cristiano Ronaldo, Pele or Johan Cruyff. He is closing in on the goal tallies of Didier Drogba, Alessandro Del Piero and Wayne Rooney.
Wait, when was this? This is, just 5 months ago released. Okay.
And he has more assists than Kevin De Bruyne, Angel Di Maria, Xavi, Iniesta, and damn near any other player in history.
What?
Yet.
Well, hold on. Well, I mean, I did just read his wiki and saw that he was pretty amazing, but what?
Didier Drogba, Alessandro Del Piero and Wayne Rooney, and he has more assists than Kevin De Bruyne, Angel Di Maria, Xavi, Iniesta, and damn near any other player in history. Yet, if you read any article about him, for a moment you'd swear you were reading about the worst footballer in the world. Awkward, unrefined, accidental, clumsy, amateurish, skinny-legged, knobbly-kneed, gangly, a Bambi on ice who should not be a footballer. Yes, Thomas Müller is all of that, but saying that he looks awkward is like underestimating a T-Rex on account of his small arms, as one journalist famously said.
I mean, that's interesting. Is it just because he looks kind of awkward? He doesn't look super athletic. Maybe that's what he's saying, but I don't know. Seems a little interesting.
Underestimating a T-Rex on account of his small arms. As one journalist famously said, Müller does not beat you with skill, he does not beat you with speed, he doesn't beat you with strength. Müller just beats you. Watching him, you will always get that feeling of, I could do that too, but do not fall for his trap. Müller is the best awkward player in the world, and I don't even need to mention, just yet, how he has arguably the highest football IQ in history, because from birth...
That's a good demonstration of it right there. Oh, wow. Got everybody running for the ball. He's like, okay, go right ahead. I'm just going to wait back here.
Müller is the best awkward player in the world. And I don't even need to mention, just yet, how he has arguably the highest football IQ in history. Because from birth, that awkwardness has made this guy a master of the unashamedly inelegant art of stabbing the ball home from unlikely angles with unlikely parts of his head or legs. Look, when Bayern found him, he was just some scrawny altar boy living with his grandparents in a town of just 2,000 people right by the Alps. His favorite childhood story was how once he had pooped on his grandma's lawn and been forced to scoop it up with his favorite plastic shovel from his sandbox. The most interesting thing his parents could tell you about him was that weirdly he had learned to speak before he learned how to walk, which, to be fair, makes a lot of sense. Regardless, the day the scouts...
I mean... He doesn't look very coordinated right here. So maybe that's a little bit about what he's talking about.
Makes a lot of sense. Regardless, the day the scouts first arrived in town, not even his name stood out on the team sheet. He was no Neymar, no Zinedine Zidane. Thomas Müller was statistically the most common name in Germany. However, what he didn't know was that his grandpa, on his deathbed, asked the family to let him watch Bayern just one more time and made him completely obsessed with the club. So much so that, already preparing for that day, over the previous year, Müller had scored 120 of his team's 170 goals. Fact or fiction, you decide for yourself, but a lot of German newspapers have claimed that, and indeed that day, he scored 7 more, instantly dropping every scout in a 100-meter radius to his knees. After 8 years at Bayern, with every one of his academy coaches losing their minds trying to understand what in the world made these kids so special.
I mean, I'm just going to say this. He looks like somebody I would be friends with. I don't know what that says about me or not, but like, he just seems like just a nice guy. Like somebody who's probably funny, who, you know, makes going to practice fun, somebody you like to play with and you like to play for. So I could totally see how he has success.
Jurgen Klinsmann brought him in to play with the first team and nothing. Klinsmann fell for his trap. He thought he had seen enough, but what he didn't know is that, as one journalist once said, Müller is a love at fourth sight. If you watch him once, he seems average, twice, and you start realizing something is off, but by the fourth time, you'll finally see it. And thankfully, after almost allowing Ralf Rangnick to snatch him out of their grasp for 1.5 million euros, Klinsmann was sacked and Van Gaal came in. Van Gaal was one of the greatest talent IDs in the world. One look at him and he famously told everyone that no matter what, with me, Müller always plays. In one swoop, Müller went from being handed 28 minutes total over a full season and getting transfer listed to playing every single league match over the next 4 years. And in return, he led Bayern to the top of the world. 35 goal contributions, the winning goal against title rivals Schalke and a hat-trick in the second-to-last match day to finally clutch the Bundesliga title for Bayern, top scorer of the German Cup to take the double, the Young Player of the Year award, and in the Champions League, he repeatedly showed up, getting an assist at Old Trafford to force Bayern through on away goals, and another in the semis to get them all the way to the final, where, had they won, they would have taken the treble. But sadly for him, Mourinho had other plans. Regardless, then, even if he had only...
Not boo because I don't like Mourinho, but boo because he messed up my man Müller.
one appearance with the national team on his resume, the Germans were going through a crisis, with the legendary Gerd Müller himself saying that, back in my day, the strikers we have in the national team now would not be allowed to even sniff the ball, but Thomas, he's an incredible young boy, and he's the one they should take to the World Cup. After that, Joachim Löw had no choice but to follow his advice. He jammed him into the starting 11 on the opening day, and Müller assisted their first 8 minutes in before grabbing one for himself. By the third match, he was already assisting.
I just got to see that again. Hold on. Let's see here.
Opening day. And Müller assisted their first 8 minutes in before grabbing one for himself. By the third match, he was already assisting their only goal to save them from a group stage elimination. And in the last 16, he made sure the whole world knew a new prototype had just hit the market. With one touch, he left Podolski with all the space in the world to put Germany 2-0 in front. And once England scored and watched in shock as they were denied of one of the most famous ghost goals in history, Müller demolished any hopes they might have had of a comeback, once again finding acres of space where there should have been none to score his first, and just 3 minutes later, doing it all again. 4 touches, 3 goal contributions against one of the most prestigious national teams in the world, and in the end, as the journalists came trying to ask him questions, all he wanted to do was say hi to his grandma. But again, if that could convince anyone that Müller wasn't so dangerous after all, then, with Maradona having refused to sit next to him in a press conference, claiming he had no idea who he was, that he thought he was just a ball boy, Müller proceeded to score against
Maradona? Come on, man. Jeez.
Who he was, that he thought he was just a ball boy. Müller proceeded to score against Argentina just 3 minutes into the match to put him back in his place. And man, had he not been...
That's right. That's right. That's what you get.
suspended for the semi-final after getting his second yellow card in the tournament. Maybe the Spain match could have been a lot different and maybe they could have made the final. But regardless, in the third place playoff, Müller scored again to secure the bronze medal, the Young Player of the Tournament award, and the World Cup Golden Boot at 20 years of age. Still, even if before the end of the year, Müller would already be putting his name among the Ballon d'Or nominees, things at Bayern had changed. For the next 2 years, though he would still take home 70 goal contributions, his form had become far more irregular, at one point being benched by Van Gaal, and once he got sacked, playing under Jupp Heynckes, Müller's goals dried up even further, scoring just 3 from October to April, being benched for the Champions League semi-finals after Dortmund ran away with the league title for the second year in a row, then somehow being brought back for the Champions League final, scoring what should have been the winning goal 7 minutes from the end, and watching Drogba force it all into extra time, where Robben would miss a penalty before Schweinsteiger and Olic did the same in the shootout, choking the Champions League title for the second time in 3 years, which Müller took very, very personally. To start off the next season, he scored the winner in the Super Cup. Then, he put down 14 goal contributions in the league's first 8 matches to take 8 consecutive wins, the greatest start in the history of the Bundesliga.
Oh, wow, really? Let me see that. 14 goal contributions in 8 matches. Greatest start in the history of the Bundesliga. Okay.
8 matches to take 8 consecutive wins, the greatest start in the history of the Bundesliga. And sure, the next match they did lose, but that was their only league defeat of the season.
Wow.
By the end, they were first, 25 points ahead of Dortmund. And I'll spoil it for you already. This was the first of 11 league titles in a row. And still, that wasn't the most impressive.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was thinking 11 in a row, but I remember this is Bayern, and I have learned the dynamic of Bayern and Borussia Dortmund and everything. So I've seen other videos where the goal in the Bundesliga is to end up at Bayern. So because they have the money and everything. So I guess that doesn't surprise me as much. I had to kind of rethink that, though.
Massive part of his season. In the Champions League, yet again, they reached the final. For the last 16, they drew 3-3 on aggregate and only went through because Müller scored and assisted away at the Emirates Stadium. Against Juventus, as one newspaper wrote, supernatural, Müller attempted an hilariously small number of passes. He was the only player not to commit a foul or be fouled. He wasn't offside once. The only reason he needed the referee out there was to blow the whistle after his goal. And yet, he was somehow the central player on the pitch, passive-aggressively dominant, suffocatingly ever-present.
Wow, that's really interesting. So he controlled the game without scoring, without assists, without being offsides, without being fouled, without fouling anyone, but he controlled the game. Wow.
And if that seemed like dark magic, then he scored 3 and assisted a 4th against prime Barcelona to demolish them 7-0 on aggregate. And in the final, he just told his teammates, if we lose 3 finals in 4 years, they'll be right, we're chokers. And a week later, instead, they were treble winners. According to many, the best team in the world. But Müller, though he was their top scorer and just shy of being their top assist provider too, well, when the Ballon d'Or rankings came, he was only 17th, below 4 of his own teammates. And looking back at it now, I can't stop myself from feeling like it only happened because it was way easier to spot a great dribbler or a great finisher than it was to decipher an enigma like Müller, to understand the genius of one of the smartest players in history. For years, football analysts couldn't even agree what his position or what his role on the pitch was. They just knew it worked. And they had to wait until he himself explained it to them. He said, I am a Raumdeuter. You can translate it however you want, a space interpreter, invader, investigator, but I like to put it more simply. Müller is a master of space. To paraphrase Joachim Löw, his first thought is always where should I be, where could I put the ball in order to maximize my team's chances of scoring a goal. Müller found a sport where all athletes were becoming near perfect specimens, where no single physical trait.
Well, that's interesting. So it sounds like he had the flexibility to just find space. Is that not common? I mean, I guess it's not common, but I mean, most people probably have, I know most people probably have areas or zones, but I don't know. I wonder if that's the same thing for him. And yeah, he's right. Everybody was becoming a specimen. Look at these guys. I mean, I look like that. I'm just on YouTube, so, I don't have my shirt off, but that ain't nothing.
Rate could truly make you stand out, so we decided to play it like a game of chess, to develop a near-perfect understanding of the game and become unpredictable, being at the right place, at the right time, always, and with full intent of doing as much damage as possible.
Look at
Quick passes, fewer touches, perfectly timed runs, clinical execution. It's like he's seeing the game from above, on another plane of existence. It's mind over matter. So when the time comes, there is no pressure on him. He could not care less, and the next season was his chance to prove that none of this had ever been luck. Despite having just won the treble, Jupp Heynckes stepped down so Pep Guardiola could take over the club. At the eyes of most pundits, only the most technical players would survive his possession-based philosophy.
What the hell? Did I not know this? Maybe I did know that he was there, but didn't he not have success? I don't know.
For someone like Müller,
they
believed this was a death sentence. Instead, over the next 3 years, despite losing possession more often than any of his teammates, Müller became Guardiola's absolute favorite. Featuring in 148 of his 161 matches in charge, 22 more than any other player, scoring 79 goals, 12 more than the second best, and providing 47 assists, 16 more than anyone else.
Oh, wow.
It was now undeniable, and for those refusing to see reason, after leaving Bayern one German Super Cup away from taking every single trophy available in Pep's first season, he joined Germany for his second World Cup and did it all again. To open things up, a hat-trick against Portugal. In the second match, an assist to clinch a draw against Ghana. By the third, their only goal against the United States. And after assisting the extra-time goal that allowed them to squeeze past Algeria, he came back in the semi-finals, opened the scoring against Brazil, assisted Klose for the second, then assisted Kos for the third, and eventually assisted Schürrle for the seventh.
Damn, this dude was the man. I did not know that. So basically, it was Neuer and him. It sounds like. Dang, I did not realize that.
Becoming the poster boy for the greatest World Cup humiliation of all time. And 5 days later, thanks to Mario Götze, they had snatched the World Cup title right out of the hands of Lionel Messi.
Wait. He didn't say what the... Hold on.
Boy for the greatest World Cup humiliation.
Greatest World Cup humiliation of all time. Is that the 7-1? I'm thinking that's what he's saying. Looks like I see some Brazil colors there, maybe. So is that what he's talking about? I'm assuming. Man, damn, he was there too.
Of all time, and 5 days later, thanks to Mario Götze, they had snatched the World Cup title right out of the hands of Lionel Messi. At just 24 years of age, Thomas Müller had...
I'm just saying, oh man, not because he beat Messi, but I just had this feeling of, damn, I wish I was like into football back then. Because it just seems so cool. Oh, okay. I can't go back and do things over. But I'm here now. But I just had that feeling of, oh man, like that would have been so cool to be into it at that time.
10 World Cup goals to his name, just 2 off of Pele, 4 off of Gerd Müller, and 6 away from the all-time record. Not to mention, he had already won damn near every trophy a player possibly could. By the time he stepped back in Germany, he had Van Gaal, now Man United's manager, coming in with a contract offer Müller described as astronomical and an £88 million transfer bid that would have made him the most expensive player of all time. But instead, he stayed, welcomed in new signing Robert Lewandowski, kept on banging in goals until the holiday season, and was rewarded with a 5th place finish at the Ballon d'Or. I could still argue that he should have placed higher, but I'll spare you the rant. With every season under Guardiola, he kept being afforded more and more freedom. After all, it was getting to a point where really only Ronaldo and Messi could challenge Müller's numbers. By his final season under Guardiola, he was dropping 40 goal contributions in the space of just 6 months. Even Messi would go on to win the Ballon d'Or that year, only managed 9 more over that period. Matter of fact, I'll go a step further. Over the previous 4 seasons, Müller had 38 goal contributions in the Champions League. It was also only 2 away from Messi. Guardiola had arrived fearful of what it would be like to manage a team without such a genius.
What the hell? Man. I just forgot. I don't know what I was thinking. Like I was kind of halfway thinking that he just went from, I'm talking about Guardiola now, that he just went from Barcelona to, no, Man City. I don't know. But okay. He was at Bayern.
Its ranks and left, having nothing more to say about Müller than that he was one of the all-time greatest football players.
Wow.
Though, to be fair, Ancelotti would see things a bit differently.
Uh-oh.
It's not that Ancelotti failed to realize how special Müller was. He himself said that a player with that kind of intelligence and tactical awareness is usually rare. But the truth is that, as Müller said, I don't know what qualities a coach wants to see, but mine seem not to be in demand. So that, added to 75 days out on injury, more than he had had over his entire career, meant that for the first time in 7 years, Müller struggled for minutes, at times being dropped for big matches as his goal tally dropped into the single digits. And even if he still reached second place in the league's assist charts, everyone could see Ancelotti was not about to change his mind. And maybe that was why 10 matches into the following season, a group of 5 key players turned against him, reportedly Ribéry, Robben, Müller and Boateng, ultimately leading to his sacking after a humiliating 3-0 defeat to PSG, prompting Jupp Heynckes to come out of retirement.
I mean, bye. You can't be... You can't sit your best player.
And run it back so hard that despite having just 3 goal contributions in the first 11 matches of the season, Müller would go off for the remaining 34, hitting 33 contributions by the end of the season. Though, really, this would not be the end of his troubles. Following a tragic World Cup campaign that saw Germany fall to the champions' curse and get kicked out in the group stage, Niko Kovac took over the club and Müller dropped back into the single digits, going as far as being permanently dropped from the national team by Joachim Löw alongside Boateng and Mats Hummels, feeding the rumors that as he approached his 30s, he was now past his best, with one newspaper going as far as claiming that everyone had stopped caring about him. To which, all he did was post an Instagram story assuring everyone that the game is not over yet. What happened next was the ultimate proof that we were dealing with an all-time great. After starting his 12th season at the club, repeatedly getting benched by Kovac, who insisted that he wanted to build his team around Coutinho, once again Müller watched the same manager who tried to bench him get sacked just 16 matches into the season with...
I mean, don't these people learn? You can't be benching Müller. You're going to get sacked. So, but I just think that's super interesting that, well, not all of them, but later on in his career, all the coaches that came in just thought that he wasn't that great. So I wonder if it's because he didn't play with style and flair and all that. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Bayern down to 4th place, only for Hansi Flick to come in, deposit all hope on him, and send him on one of the most incredible redemption arcs of all time.
Here we go.
Evolving into a new version of himself, more selfless than ever, shocking everyone during the pandemic by how vocal he was on the pitch, commanding his team like a general match after match, putting his playmaking duties above his goal scoring like never before, and turning Lewandowski into a monster, damn near launching him straight into the Ballon d'Or. By the end of the season, not only had he handed Bayern the title again and pulled 8 goals and 17 assists in the 23 league matches for which Flick was in command, coming out of nowhere to snatch away the Bundesliga's all-time assists record, but he had 25 of them across all competitions. 3 more than Neymar ever managed, 4 more than Ronaldo, and only 5 off of Messi's greatest ever season. And yet, as per usual, that wasn't quite the highlight of the year, having once again scored twice and assisted another against Barcelona to demolish them 8-2 this time around. Müller had launched Bayern straight into another Champions League final for the 3rd time in his career, 1 match off of a treble. And on this one, as The Guardian wrote, Müller showed PSG's for...
Wait, who was that? Okay.
Off of a treble, and on this one, as The Guardian wrote, Müller showed PSG's £400 million attacking trio out to be a winner. No doubt Neymar will hear the thundering hooves of Thomas Müller when he goes to sleep tonight. Now, already 31, with 2 trebles to his name and a squad full of new talent desperate for a spot, it would have been more than understandable if once for all Müller had finally let go. But instead, not only did he take both Super Cups at the start of the next season to become the most decorated second-rated German footballer in history, but he dropped 39 more goal contributions, forcing the national team to come back with their tail between their legs, asking him to join them once more. And even after Lewandowski left for Barcelona and Nagelsmann replaced Flick, he finished his 14th season at the club by racking up 25 more assists, sending his total to 75 over the previous 3 seasons, more than any other player in the world, 20 more than second-place Kevin De Bruyne. Such a gap that...
And De Bruyne is a beast.
The other player in the world, 20 more than second-place Kevin De Bruyne. Such a gap that at one point the difference between him and second place was larger than that between De Bruyne and 22nd place Kylian Mbappe, with Müller at 33 years of age finally getting some proper award recognition for the first time in his career, being named Bayern's Player of the Season. Ever since then, Müller has finally started giving the new kids a chance, finally fading into the background only to watch.
First time in, that is like sweet redemption. The first time in his career, at the end of his career, getting Player of the Year.
Has finally started giving the new kids a chance, finally fading into the background only to watch, as after taking them to 11 league titles in a row, they immediately conceded the next one to Leverkusen.
Boo. Wow. Man. That is a great story. Thanks for the recommendation, Cuddy and Blaze and Marcel and everybody else. Man, I had no idea. But now I do. I mean, that's why I'm on this journey, so I could learn about the history of football and the players and everything that makes football amazing. That was a great story. Thomas Müller is the man. I definitely could see that. So, great. Subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. You can like the video too. And if you had to do just one of the two, like the video. Super easy, free. Just takes a quick second. Just click. There you go. Like the video. All right. As always, thanks for stopping by. And we will see you on the next video. Peace.